When a man becomes a father, his brain literally shrinks. His gray matter volume contracts by about 1% during the transition to parenthood. We typically associate brain shrinkage with cognitive decline, a loss of mental sharpness, or the onset of daddy brain. This volume loss creates a specialized high-performance architecture, optimized for the unique social and cognitive demands of raising a child. Yet, in a culture that defines male optimization through career status, bank accounts, and physical metrics, fatherhood is often marketed as a liability, an undesirable choice that derails a man's personal and professional growth. This messaging has effectively framed a major biological upgrade as a trap, putting modern cultural ideals at odds with human evolution. The cultural shift away from the caregiver role aligns with a measurable change in the global population. For most of human history, birth rates remained at a level that allowed societies to consistently replace themselves and maintain a stable demographic baseline. That baseline is now collapsing. According to data from the CDC and Pew Research, the U.S. total fertility rate has dropped to an all-time recorded low of 1.6 children per woman. A population requires a 2.1 replacement rate to remain stable without immigration. The gap between that 2.1 threshold and our current 1.6 trajectory signals a systemic demographic decline. When the paternal instinct is suppressed at scale, it moves beyond a personal lifestyle choice and becomes a threat to the survival of the population. Clinical scans of first-time fathers reveal exactly which regions of the brain are physically altering during this process. The shrinkage is concentrated in the cortex, specifically within the mentalizing network. This is a pruning mechanism. By eliminating excess neural noise and redundant pathways, the brain builds a streamlined highway for processing vital information. This refined network upgrades social cognition, allowing a father to more accurately decode an infant's emotions and facial cues. Rather than losing function, the brain is hyper-focusing, transforming the man into a more efficient processor of social and emotional data. This neurological pruning is accompanied by a hormonal shift, often resulting in a 25% drop in testosterone for highly involved fathers. This shift reallocates biological resources, moving the body away from the aggressive competition required for mating and toward the nurturing behaviors required for child survival. This transition is frequently linked to the dad bod, a physical weight gain that occurs around the time of the child's birth. This isn't unique to humans. Expectant tamarind monkey fathers also gain weight before the birth of their offspring, creating a biological energy buffer to prepare for the demands of caregiving. Evolutionary psychology suggests this physical change acts as an attractive signal to women, indicating a man's readiness and capacity to provide hands-on care. What is often dismissed as a physical decline is actually a targeted adaptation designed to ensure the survival of the next generation. Unlike the maternal brain changes triggered by pregnancy hormones, the paternal upgrade is facultative. It is an optional biological switch that remains off unless the right environmental triggers are present. The switch is activated by physical proximity and active care. The more time a father spends in direct contact, the more his biology transforms. The transition can be facilitated even before birth through specific communication patterns between the couple. Research shows that fathers who validate their partners during pregnancy conflicts maintain lower cortisol levels, which is a predictor of smoother birth outcomes. This evolutionary upgrade cannot be accessed in isolation. It requires the environmental input of a supportive, hands-on partnership. While the early years of parenting are physically and mentally exhausting, they yield a significant biological return later in life. The constant effort required to manage the social and emotional complexities of children acts as an intensive cognitive workout. Clinical studies suggest that people who raise 2 or 3 children develop a measurable neuroprotective reserve. When researchers compare biological brain age to chronological age, they find that parents often show markers of a younger brain, providing a buffer against cognitive decline as they age. The short-term sacrifice of parenting serves as a long-term investment in the brain's durability and health. If this biological transition offers such a clear advantage, we must ask why modern society makes it so difficult to activate. The United States stands as a global outlier, being one of the few developed nations without a federal policy for universal paid parental leave. Without paid leave, many parents are forced back to work almost immediately. This policy failure blocks the proximity and bond time required to flip the facultative switch. Humans evolved for alloparenting, raising children within a supportive community. Modern economic structures replace that community with isolation and survival-level stress. Our economic system markets parenting as a burden, while the biological data shows it functions as a cognitive and physical upgrade. This raises the question of who actually benefits when young men and women are kept disconnected from this evolutionary process. You have to consider if you are truly choosing an optimized life, or if that choice was engineered for you by a societal system that prioritizes output over human connection.